Hello, everyone. This is Nathan Burgess from Nathan's Nuggets, and today I'm with Humboldt State basketball player Derek Burgess Jr. Thanks for joining me today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I'll start with the first question. How old were you when you started playing basketball?
Uh, Around 5. I didn't play organized basketball till I was like 11, 10. But yeah, that's when I pretty much started playing basketball.
So you liked basketball for a while?
Yeah, I also played track and field, so I did those two mix-ups.
Do you think your track helped you with basketball?
Yeah, it was like explosion, like first step of basketball, and the same thing as track is kind of similar. Like you start off, so
Mm-hmm.
it kind of helped a lot with that aspect.
Did you play on any AAU teams as a kid?
Yeah, I played for Oakland Rebels, which now is Team Lillard. And then growing up, I played with a team called Chuck Haynes Elite. It's a NBA players AAU team. And then I played some Oakland Soldiers, but I was on and off with them.
Did Damian Lillard on that team that you played on the first one?
He used to play for the Oakland Rebels before he got to the NBA.
Oh, wow,
And then I
that's
played for the Oakland Rebels too. But then once obviously he got big in the NBA, he changed it to Team Lillard. So it's basically his team now.
a lot of them have a lot, like their own AAU teams.
And now a lot of them do now.
Like Russell Westbrook has Team Why Not, I think it's called.
And then Bradley Beal has the Team Beal or something like that team. Like there's a lot of people.
Oh,
John Wall
wow,
has them as well.
that is a lot. What was the most intense high school game you've ever played in?
Uh Intense. It might be. I'm trying to think. That's a good question. Um, Most intense was probably when I played against Archbishop Mitty, which is a rival for my old school, Valley Christian. And they had a guy at the time named Ben Kone, who was an Oregon State commit, and like everyone was pretty much there because two San Jose teams playing against each other. But also another game I was thinking of was my freshman year when I first played against Aaron Gordon. When he was
Oh,
a
wow.
senior. That was so nerve wracking because he wasn't like famous yet, but it was just the fact that like we all knew he was going to the NBA, like all in San Jose,
So
and just playing against him was
you guys
crazy.
all knew he was gonna be big time one day.
Oh yeah, he was like famous pretty much in San Jose at
That would
like
have
16.
Wow, that's crazy. That would have been nerve wracking going against him.
Yeah, without him though, that team would have been horrible. But with him, that team was legendary.
Why did you choose to go to Gavilian College coming out of high school?
Just I knew the school and I knew the coaches. I knew obviously like going to junior college is a risk, but I knew I can get out from there. And the year before that, they're like 24-7, so I kind of knew I was in good hands going in. And then obviously that year we did really good, and I got able to get out my first year.
So you knew like that you're coming into a good situation for yourself there, and you already knew the coaches.
Yeah, I knew I was be safe because I know my work ethic, and I know like JUCO's hard, but if you make it a priority to get out, it's pretty not hard.
What were you feeling before your first college game?
Like this is it. Well, I'm
so
I'm here now. Like stuff like that. Like trying to
you're
make a
kind
name
of
for
like,
myself. Stuff like that.
well, this is the game I'm doing. I'm
Yeah, like
about to
I'm
do it.
officially in college now. Like no more high school. Yeah, pretty much.
What was it like going 27-3?
It was amazing. I was surprised like we clicked so well, honestly, because I didn't know how good we were until we played our first game against San Francisco City, who were the state championships that
Oh,
previous
wow.
year for JUCO, and then we beat them by like 5 or 6. So
That's
I was like, okay, we might be pretty good because San Francisco City's always like state champions every year and stuff like that. And then we had a whole bunch of people recruiting us afterwards. Like all the D1 and D2 schools would come to our practices, watch us play. And then we were
wow.
like basically talk of the town because Gavilian College isn't a the area is not big at all. It's maybe like 30,000, 20,000 people total.
So once you beat them, you knew you guys had a good team.
Yeah, and we were ranked #1 at one point in Northern California. It was between us and San Francisco City that whole year. It was crazy.
That's crazy. That's cool that the D1 and D2 guys came to watch you guys practice.
Yeah, we had a lot. We had Cal Poly, Cal State, Monterey Bay, Humboldt State, Sonoma State. Hawaii came out for me. We had one of our players getting recruited by Texas. Yeah, and then another Santa Barbara came too. Like schools on top of my
Wow,
head will just pop up. Oh, and San Jose State.
those are all good schools. So both of your schools came to your practice.
Yeah, they'll go to our games and practice, especially during like playoff time.
How come you redshirted at Hawaii Pacific?
Well, I came in originally as a business major, so a lot of my classes that year or the year before, no, I'm lying. The year before, I was kinesiology major, like exercise science. So all my classes were like towards that degree. But I had a change of heart, or I thought I did, for business, like business marketing. So I want to own like a facility one day. So I wanted to know like the marketing skills of it. So I pretty much switched to that. Once I took business, like I obviously knew like it wasn't the best thing for me. But then my transcripts were all kinesiology, and that school is only a business school, so they had no classes for kinesiology. So a lot of my transcripts didn't go through, so I had to pretty much sit out because like a lot of my classes didn't count for that school. But
Oh wow.
say Humboldt, it counts here. So
So you had to like get like all your stuff right for academics.
yeah, it was basically academic, um, something like that. Like I had to sit out for a year of residency since my classes didn't go through.
Did you plan to transfer from Hawaii Pacific when you first went there?
Oh no, definitely. Going to
Oh,
school in Hawaii out of JUCO is like a dream. Like I met all my people there. I probably will go back after I graduate, but only reason I left really was to go back to exercise science, kinesiology, and I didn't make a decision like to stay and like get like a major or degree that I don't know what to do with, or just go with something I'm passionate about. So I just made that decision for myself. So I could have stayed, but I would end up getting like a business degree with no like desire to be in a cubicle, stuff like that.
it was a better decision for you for your future.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who is your favorite basketball player as a kid?
Oh, growing up, definitely Monte Ellis because I'm a huge Warriors fan,
Oh, really?
and he was one of those guys. Like no one talks about him, but he was at the time treated like Stephen Curry before Stephen Curry. It was just him, and then when Steph Curry came to the league, he was still like the man, the Warriors. But obviously, over time, Steph Curry kind of
Took
took
over.
over that mantle. Yeah, but yeah, he was one of my favorite players growing up by far.
So he was like the guy you always watched.
Yeah, just the way he plays, like undersized but still getting to the rim, like stuff like that. I thought was cool.
Do you try to model your game after anyone?
Now, honestly, I try to just play or think like how Jimmy Butler does, because he's like a positionless player. Like he does anything and whatever it takes to win. Because like he'll back someone down. He has enough ball handling to bring it up. He can shoot the three, shoot the mid range, and he's not scared of anyone. So he's another guy like I really model after because like he's not really worried about the stats when he's playing. He's just worried about
Hmm.
getting a win for his team.
He'll do like whatever he needs to do to get the win.
Yeah, that's why they're 2-0 against the Bucks, which is crazy to me. So, but yeah,
Hmm. Why did you pick Humboldt State?
I picked Humboldt because I knew some of the players here already from the Bay Area, and then also they have a good kinesiology program here. And then yeah, it just ended up how as the quickest way for me to get back into school because I know during COVID it's kind of hard to get recruited because you
Hmm.
can't really go to open gyms or like show your face.
You can't like
So
go do stuff in front of scouts.
yeah, you can't like do anything. So they trusted how I played, and they just chose me. And I've seen like their schools like top kinesiology around California.
It was a good fit for you all around with basketball and academics.
Yeah, and there's basically no distraction around here because it's all just forest, and you're up north and stuff like that.
So you can just focus on school and basketball.
Yeah.
What game are you most looking forward to this season?
Uh, Probably Sonoma State because actually, funny thing, I originally was committed there.
Oh, really?
Like right at like back in like April, May. But the coach retired, and obviously the new coach didn't know who I was, so they basically like told me like they're gonna go another route, all that stuff with that, which is fine. But I just want to play against them to basically show them like they messed up, type
You
of thing.
want to prove that they made a bad decision?
Yeah, but it's
Probably.
fine. I'm glad they did that because I'm actually pretty happy here.
So it was good though in the end for you since you got to go to Humboldt State.
Yeah.
When Humboldt State offered you, were they always your top choice?
Yeah. Funny thing is too, because I was recruited by them back in junior college, so
Oh,
they're
wow.
always like the number 2 team in my mind. But at the time, obviously, I was thinking so big headed about being in Hawaii, like stuff like that. So it was like an easy decision for me. But they're always like my number 2 pick, and then now I'm glad I like should have picked them number 1 originally, but things fold how they are. So I'm just glad I'm here now.
So you just wanted to get to Hawaii and enjoy the beach stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
How have you been staying ready and in shape for this season?
Oh, I'm a workaholic. I always am doing something. Like I usually go do cardio. I do like segments of things, arms, abs, and then with basketball, I make sure I do ball handling every single day because I know sometimes in California, like the hoops will be or the rims outside will be taken out. So whenever I can get in the gym, I will. But if there's no gym, I always do like ball handling to make sure my body's in shape right now.
So you're always making sure that you're just working on something.
Yeah, and
You
I
got
gotta keep a good consistency with the page I just started up. So,
what are your goals for your career at Humboldt State?
uh, eventually, either this year or next year, hopefully be first team, and then just be honestly just a leader, just a good example, and to show like what hard work could look like on and off the court.
So you want to be a leader on it to like for the other people.
Yeah, for the people that's like freshmen, like sophomores, stuff like that.
Was it always your goal to play college basketball?
Oh yeah, of course. My parents always were like, play college basketball, play college. The same guy like I wanted to. So
So
yeah.
your parents also wanted you to?
Oh yeah, I just wanted honestly school to be paid for free. I didn't want them to like even worry about student loans or me either. So
You
yeah, it
wanted to
was
get the
fun.
scholarship.
They told me always either school or school or sports pay for like school. So yeah, that was.
What are your plans to try and do after basketball?
I want to start training a lot more people than I do now, and then also just make a name. Like, my ultimate goal is I want to start like a. I don't know if you know BCAA supplements. It's like a pre-workout. Like I want to start a supplement brand after basketball's done, like in college, or like get that rolling a little bit and then just network with myself. And then God bless if I play overseas, I can use that as well to network as well, wherever
That's
I'll be.
cool. So you want to always like stay involved in sports
Yeah,
or in
and like
basketball
yeah, and I want to make sure like I'm good with like like giving nutritional like advice for people.
to like help some of the people also trying to get to college basketball.
Yeah.
And you want to play overseas.
Oh yeah, definitely. As long as the money's right, of course.
Mm-hmm. Then the last question is for fun. You get to take any three NBA players to dinner. They can be past or present. Who are you taking?
Good question. Um, Probably honestly Kobe. I would Kobe Bryant. Next one I would do past or present. I would probably just think Bill Russell to like see how he kept his composure. Like even back then, like when like the '60s and '50s were like racism was a thing, and being in Boston, all that stuff like that. And then last person.
I can't see you anymore.
Oh, sorry, my coach is calling me right now. Let me text him real quick.
Okay.
Oh, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, last question. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Monte Ellis. I just want to see like how his time was with the Warriors,
And
stuff like that.
get your favorite player.
Oh yeah, I have to.
All right. Thanks for joining me today. Those are all the questions I have.
All right, thank you, man, for having me, bro.
No problem.